Hi, and welcome to this third video in this short series about the 6 myths of grief. Have you ever heard the phrase, smile and the world smiles with you, cry and you cry alone? Isn't it heartbreaking that when you're sad and might really benefit from some emotional understanding that you're taught to be by yourself? The third myth, grieve alone, is often heard as give us some space or he needs to be alone. John W. James, the co-author of the Grief Recovery Handbook, recounts that he was in one of his high school classes when he was told that his grandfather had passed away. After several minutes, he started to cry, so the teacher sent him to the principal's office so that he could be by himself. Now, John assumed that the adults around him knew what they were on about, and so the idea of grieving alone was further reinforced when he got home that night. And he wanted to comfort his mother, who was obviously upset and crying. And he was told by his father and his uncle, don't disturb your mother. She'll be okay in a little while. Just for a moment, think about a little baby. What's the first thing that they learn to do? Cry, right? They communicate their discomfort and their unhappiness at the top of their lungs. As loving parents, we wouldn't leave that baby alone. We'd comfort it. But imagine that baby now is a 5 or 6-year-old who's told, if you're going to cry, go to your room. There it is. Grieve alone. What could that do to a child's sense of trust to be told when they're having a normal and natural emotional reaction to a life event that it's not okay to feel that feeling? But if they insist on having that feeling, we do not want to see it, so they should go to their room and be alone. As a society, we're so embarrassed by tears and displays of emotion, and our actions and words teach others and our children that they should keep those emotions out of sight because they're uncomfortable for us to deal with. People may choose to grieve alone. But why? Quite simply because they are probably afraid of being judged or criticized for having the feelings they're feeling. Like, shouldn't they be over it already? And isn't it time to move on? That said, solitude isn't bad. And collecting your thoughts and feelings isn't bad. Private time isn't bad. But we don't isolate by nature. We isolate by training, by education, and by socialization. And we isolate because we're taught that we laugh together, but we cry alone.